Hey guys, this week we're going to go over my trip to Sema. I'm not going to bore you guys with an hour-long video of nothing but slides. So we're just going to go through and hit some of the cars that I actually saw and I thought worth mentioning. Okay, so this rat here, this Model A, it's been chopped down. The doors don't open. You've actually got to climb over the roof to get into it. But it had some cool things on it. I mean, I do like the way the roof was stitched on it. They did not weld it out completely. They only stitched it, which I guess is fine. I mean, as long as it's strong enough. Now the interior on this is pretty cool. They took and they did paint the interior. Some new panels there. Now if you notice on the steering shaft, they just used a Heim to hold the actual steering shaft, and that's pretty cool. I do like that, and I might use that in mine. Now obviously this is fake patina. You can tell because all the welds are brown and the same color as the paint, things like that, so it was done afterwards. Now on the steering here, where it comes out the side, you know, I use a large wrench on mine. They actually use a connecting rod, which looks pretty cool. Don't know if they have the same problems I do. I mean, mine's a real bear to turn, so I'm trying to work out power steering on mine. Now this truck here is a truck that they built for racing Pikes Peak. Really like the truck. I mean, it's got an insane motor in it. This thing is not a rat rod. This thing just has a whole body on it, but it has some really cool features. Giant turbo on this thing, but looks like it'd be a fun ride. Now this truck in the back, they did an awesome job with this copper. I mean, it looks amazing. I really like the copper accents. Now if you see that silver part in there that curves, that's actually what the bed rails lay on when it goes down. So it does not have a flat bed, it's got a curved bed to it, but it looks really nice. It's a cool feature. I like the bead rolling on the inside of the lid. You know, it's a real high-end build, that's for sure. Now the one thing that got me about this truck is they did all this and they put a EcoBoost V6 in it. I mean, it's cool, I guess. I mean, I don't know, it's not my thing, but I guess it's cool. You put a new power plant in it and everything, and supposedly these engines put out a lot of power, so I don't know, it's different. Now this Suburban is freaking clean. You know, it's just laid out on the ground. The sticker in the back says Stoner Speed Shop, but the big thing on it is this engine. Okay, this LS, they had a custom intake done, and it has velocity stacks for every cylinder, and it has direct port injectors firing into each cylinder. Gave it a really cool feature. Now this bug was radical. Suicide doors. It's got an Oldsmobile small block inside with you. Now I don't think you can drive this. If you do, you don't want to drive it for long. Radiators are in the floor. I mean, the headers go right at the side of the body. I mean, it's a great looking car, awesome design, but I don't really want to sit on that motor that close. And if you look, they've got like a Porsche Boxer transmission in the rear, so it's independent suspension, kind of like a Bug, but it's different, it's cool. Now this Suburban here, they've got an LS in it, everything else. They did a great job. It's fake patina, obviously, but I mean, it's a clean car. Now this thing is just amazing. This is my favorite car of the whole show. This thing's got such a wide butt on it, and I mean, it is just sheet metal to the max. I mean, the fabrication on this thing was insane. And the details are crazy on this. It's got the Illuminati symbol in the back. I mean, this thing is just evil looking. I mean, it's so long, it swoops back. I mean, the color scheme, everything about it. It's like a satin black with a matte black, and I mean, the interior's all chrome with the death wrench wheel. The headlights, Jesus, these headlights are huge, and it gives it this wild look. I mean, this is something you imagine creeping down an alley at night, like just scaring the crap out of you. I mean, this car is awesome. Now this rat rod was out in the parking lot. I looked at it. It had a lot of things hanging on it, but I mean, somebody built it, so I can respect it. It had the microphone shifter, It had a few things on it. The seats. Now these seats are something that I looked at doing when building my interiors, building the seat backs into the actual spine of the car and looking at that. Now this obviously took some time because they're aluminum signs. Okay, so obviously they were TIG welded in, but I see the tack welds going to the steel tube around the body. So you can't weld aluminum to steel. So I'm not really sure how they did this, or if those were reprints on steel, the signs, or what. I don't know. It's different, but I do like it. It's cool. Now this thing is blown, supercharged, huge freaking radiator, everything on it. I mean, it's obviously got more than enough power. Now this intake cover though, obviously was for looks to keep people from throwing stuff down or whatnot, because this thing was welded shut. There was no opening. So obviously it's for looks. Probably when they park at the show they put it on. That way people don't throw things down in the carburetor. This route was pretty clean. I mean, it was interesting that they C-notched the front of the frame for the bags. I haven't seen many people do that. It's a cool effect because it keeps the frame low and it hangs over the bag. So I mean, it's different, but it's cool. I like it. It looks like they used 2x3 tubing for the frame. So I mean, yeah, I mean, it's sure it's strong enough. Guys use it all the time. I use way bigger stuff, but that's why my cars weigh 5,000 pounds. Now this wagon was clean. Now this is the family wagon, man. It's got freaking pinstriping, the chrome, the white walls. The roof had custom paint on it. The fins just set this car off with the white fins and then the white walls. It had side pipes, but they had caps on it. It's made by, I guess, Death Heart Creations, or Dead Heart Creations. Now this child seat, okay, you know you're showing your age when you know this is a child seat. Now this is how they did it back in the day. This was like a booster seat. This is what you put your kid in with the chains and everything else to ride around in the car. So I mean, it's a cool little feature that they put in there. But yeah, it's hard to think that, you know, when we were kids, this is what they use. It's pretty freaking sketch. Now this Jeep, okay, this Jeep is like a I don't know, it does the math. Okay, it's like 1.5 sizes. Okay, a little bigger than that. This thing is monstrous. Okay, diesel engine, 4-wheel steer. I mean, you can see me standing next to it, and I'm 6'2" and all, so you can imagine how giant this thing is. You probably look like a freaking midget trying to drive it. Now, this guy here, this 6-wheel diesel-powered wrecker, I guess you call it, had some cool features. I was really interested in how they ran the drive shaft through one pumpkin to the next, so it's actually all 4 wheels in the back are driving it. It had some nice features. I mean, it had the things with the stacks, like horns, things like that. But it was pretty cool. I like the big rivets on the frame. Now this guy here, I met these folks out of New Mexico. They drove it all the way in. They've driven it all over. It's a cool build. They actually have a bed in it, everything else. But one thing that got me was how high this turbo is up in the air. This turbo is freaking huge. And, I mean, it's just poking way up. Personally, I would have took the turbo and lowered it down about a foot. I think it would look meaner. I mean, I get it. This is what they were doing. That's awesome. But, I mean, to each your own. But for me, I would have dropped the turbo down about a foot and kept everything down in the engine compartment. Just ran the stack out. Now this truck was clean, okay, this is not my style. They took and powder coated the engine, the exhaust, even the oil filter. I mean, everything matched. But it was all satin finish. It looked really, really clean. The crazy thing that got me is when I went around the back and I looked in the bed. The rear end is in the bed of the truck. They actually made the bed of the truck around the bottom of it, which is intriguing to me. I mean, with the wishbone and everything else, drive shaft going through, it's all on top the bottom of the bed. Which, you know, if it's going up and down, it's going to crush anything in the bed, but I guess cars like this, you don't haul stuff in. But it was interesting. I had never seen anybody put the bed below the rear end. So I ran into Luis Santiago. He does Fix It Garage and a few other shows. Super cool guy, totally down to earth. Spent tons of time talking to him. So if you run into him, say hi. I took pics with Farm Truck and Asian just because, why not? They were there, the line was short, figured to do it. So this is a robot they had in one of the booths, and it was interesting because it would just, like, you could talk to it and respond and all types of crap. So I was sitting there screwing with it, trying to get it to say bad things, but it wouldn't do it. I ran into guys from Redneck Racing. Now, I met these guys at the Phoenix Hot Wheels show, and they won, so they went to Sema, so I got to talk to them again. They're actually going to be running here in Phoenix this weekend with the truck, trying to put a solid pass on it. So if I have time, I'll go out there and talk to them. Then I ran into Montaigne Eric. They're subscribers and followers of the Broke Bastard Garage. Super cool guys. I actually spent a lot of time talking to them, talking about our different projects and whatnot. It's always a good time to run into viewers and just talk. Just plain on talk about our builds. Now they had some of the guys from Street Outlaws around in their cars and whatnot. So this is Killer Cab. I just took a picture of it to let you see how crazy these cars really are. They're not street cars. No way, no how. These are pro mod performance cars. These are not your average street car. You don't take this thing to the grocery store. Now they had this tractor pull little tractor set up, but if I won the lottery or if I had multi-million dollars, I'd buy this, put a mowing deck on it, and tear up the front yard just to piss my neighbors off. Because, buddy, that'd be worth it. This Mustang, okay, I'm not one for Mustangs, never have been. This Mustang had a Ferrari engine in it. Now this Henry J here was in the House of Color booth. I was intrigued by it, not by the person that owned it. The guy that owned it as the guy that had a welder up building my car. He was there, but I didn't even talk to him. But I was really paying attention to the paint job on this car. There's a lot of cool details on it for the shading and the lines and everything. And you know, if I ever decide to paint a car, maybe I'll try something to break out the airbrush and do a few of these things, because they're simple but they have really great effects. Like these stars on the side. Don't ask me why. I really enjoyed these. I love the shadow on them. They just a great effect. Now this Mini, okay, I'll admit I started hating on this Mini the minute I saw it. Okay, the crazy paint job, the Gullwing door, the single seater that you have to climb over the speakers to get into. I was hating on it. Okay, I'm not gonna lie. Then I look inside and I see 18 freaking gauges, and I'm like, well, who needs 18 gauges? Okay, so I'm looking at them. I'm like, there's duplicates. There's freaking duplicate gauges. Why on earth do you need 2 tacks, 2 fuel gauges, 2 this, 2 that? I'm like, this doesn't make any sense. And I'll admit I was bagging on it, and then I stepped back and look and realize there's a motor in the front. And there's another motor in the back. So this thing's got 2 engines. So I gained some respect then. Still don't like the paint job, but I'd like to drive it. So this Corvette, super clean. Super clean. These are only your Corvettes that I like, okay? So one thing you'll notice about the red and white is the white walls. You have to have the white walls on it. And then I looked down and it said 20-inch rims, and I'm like, what? So then I walk around the booth and I find out they're displaying them there. They're 20-inch rims, but 4 inches of it is white wall. That's right, the white wall is part of the rim. Okay, so you can put any tire you want on it, and now it's a wide white because the outer part of the rim's white to mimic a freaking white wall. Nice trick, I guess. This pedal car, I know guys are like, oh, you took a picture of a pedal car. No, the flames and the detail, the shadowing, the pinstriping, everything on this pedal car was just awesome. I mean, it's definitely something I wouldn't mind having just chilling in a game room or something, because it is beautiful. Then we've got Blasphemy. Now, you guys have seen this car on Finnegan's Garage, Roadkill, things like that. So I got to see it in person. It is a bad car, man. The Hemi in this, the blower, everything else. I kind of thought from watching the show that it was going to be in worse shape. I know, this is a really nice car. Everything about it. It's done clean, it's done right, it's a beautiful car. And then the dung beetle. Okay, so got to look at this. It's got a Subaru motor in it, turbocharged. I mean, no wonder this thing's so fast. But they went really simple on the inside. I mean, it only has a couple things, but obviously I don't really drive this around. They go out and race it, and that's it. So guys, there was so much stuff at Sema, there's no way. We could sit here forever talking about it and showing you pictures of it. So what I'm going to do is this. I'm going to cut the video here. And then I'll just start sharing the rest of the pictures on my Facebook and my Instagram. Both of them are Broke Bastard Garage. And I'll just share the stuff out there. So if you guys are interested in more things I saw, you can follow on those and see them. I don't want to go overboard and put it all in this one video. Alright guys, well it's the first of the month and I said I'd do a giveaway at the first every month. So this month what I'm going to do is one of these blue BBG hats like you see me wearing all the time. I'll give you one of those, a couple lanyards, and I'll throw in a DEI t-shirt. Now I've got some 2X's and I've got some 3X's, okay? So, you know how to enter. You got to comment on this video. If you do, I'll save it up to next week and I'll put you guys in a drawing and we'll see who wins. So anyway guys, if you like this video, do me a favor. Like and subscribe. And if you want to see more of my stuff, over here. Well guys, I hope you enjoyed seeing a tidbit of what was at Sema. We were there for 3 days and I still didn't see it all. So anyway guys, you have a good week and I'll see you next week.